What happened in Los Angeles is devastating. It's nothing I've ever experienced. We've had fires, we've had earthquakes, but this is by far one of the most terrifying and hard to comprehend experiences. Wasn't personally affected. I'm working with clients that lost everything and doing our best to find them temporary housing, amazed by the resilience of the people we're working with, and ultimately just trying to remove one burden from their shoulders. A few things that keep coming up is I'm really blown away by the lack of creativity I'm hearing from our politicians and just in general. So I have a few that just jumped out at me, having a background in architecture and now as a realtor and also real estate investor. You know, this does hit close to home how we can do better, because I feel like LA should be an absolutely incredible city, but being the largest city and the 5th largest economy in the world, it seems like we should be here and we're not. So first off, there's this immediate reaction that you can't build a home larger than the existing square feet. Now, some homes in the Palisades are maxed out. They could be 5,000, 8,000, but there's plenty of homes that were built 20, 30 years ago that could be 2,000. So who's that helping? I don't see how that's a benefit. We have zoning, permitting, and laws in place that actually limit the total size of your home. Why can't you take it to the max size that you're allowed by law? Don't get it. Secondly, why isn't there any incentives to actually build bigger? Encourage people to do duplexes, 2 homes on a lot, which is called a small lot subdivision. That would actually increase the housing stock. Now, we keep talking about not having enough housing, and yet there's nothing being said about increasing it. Now, Palisades is a wonderful place, and part of it is that it's a small community. If you double the number of people there, it wouldn't change the community that drastically. Same with Aldina, same with this entire city. This city is actually quite not dense when you look at a Tokyo or something comparable in the total size and the density of homes. Secondly, I've heard nothing creative about the financial gap that's going to take place. Not everybody is going to have more insurance. Not everyone is going to have insurance that is going to essentially max out what they can do. So there's going to be some type of gap. It could be $10,000, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars between what your insurance will cover and what it will actually cost to rebuild. So one simple idea I had is, why don't we create a special mortgage program working with banks that's between 40 and 50 years long? Now, they already have a 40-year mortgage. We have it over where I work. You can make it 50-year. This is not a radical idea. Now, the idea is you're able to pay less for the money you're borrowing over a longer period of time. And I would also make this mortgage assumable by someone who buys the home. Now, there could be 2 to 3 years or some type of mechanism so you don't just do this and then immediately sell it, but it's really up to you if you want to do that, because now the home is in a neighborhood where it's going to take a while before it's back to that price point that it was worth before the fire. So create some incentive that actually makes the home easier to have more value. And one of the ways that value is a valuable thing, this used to be more common, is a loan at a good interest rate. If you could assume that, it was actually bringing the cost of buying that home down. So just a simple idea. I haven't heard anything that relates to helping people create more value by what they're investing in. As an architect, doing renovations, working on pretty large projects, I can tell you they have some pre-approved plans for ADUs, and it is nearly impossible to find anything on LA websites. Things get done, don't get me wrong, LA works and operates. I'm not saying it's all bad, but we can do so much better. I haven't heard any talk about creating preset plans that are going to be fast-tracked. Bring in the best architects, bring in any architect, have them design for different size lots, sublots, so you can increase the type of home, automatically including fire preventative materials and layouts and landscaping, everything into it, so that you have between, I don't know, anywhere 5 to 500 different pre-approved plans. Why not? Use AI so that you can actually just change the home based on the lot size. There's so many things you can do, and those are fast-tracked. Now, I realize not everybody wants to build something that feels cookie cutter, but doesn't mean you can't select the materials. Doesn't mean you can't design homes that actually are craftsman style or Spanish bungalow, any number of things. It's just that they are going to be pre-approved by the city so they can get built quicker. I've heard nothing about this, still also surprised. The fourth is bulk purchasing. Why don't we incentivize the city and the state to buy things in bulk? We're going to need thousands of bullets. We're going to need tons of lumber, concrete, nails, so that anyone who's impacted by the fire can buy it at a discounted bulk rate. Once again, I don't know why that isn't being discussed. Or how about temporary housing for anyone who's moving to the city to help in the construction process? Give them an extremely affordable place to live and have them, it's a temporary thing, anywhere from 3 months to 18 months. I can tell you personally that running an Airbnb, many of my guests would be coming to move to Los Angeles and then need a spot to live for 3 months, 2 months before they figured it out. Unrelated to what I'm saying, but ultimately having temporary housing for these people that are coming here that want to help and making it simple, fast, and efficient. Have heard nothing about that. I understand it goes back to building quickly and building effectively. There is space in the city. There's a lot of space, quite frankly. There's a lot of underutilized park. There's a lot of empty space that we can better utilize. And lastly, innovative planning. Reconceptualize how we lay out some of these neighborhoods. I know that might impact some individuals, but we can find a way to make it work. Wider streets so that way fire trucks can get through, creating breaks so that it really prevents a fire from spreading beyond a certain area. Creative ways with allowing for the innovation of self-driving cars and a number of things that they can do to reconceptualize it. Obviously putting every single electric wire below ground. I know a master plan takes a long time, but it can be done. And so those are some of the thoughts I've had, and I just can't get over the fact I'm not hearing more creativity. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna try to get more involved in these aspects of how the city is going to rebuild. But just off the top of my head, these are 5 things that I feel could make a difference. Open to any comments, love your thoughts. Thank you.